Hey you guys, so we're up Taylor's Canyon Creek a ways, and what we're doing is searching alongside the road, like 60, 70 feet in. We're S-ing back and forth. Chris is back there. You can see one of my flags, but I can see Chris, he's back there. And we're walking to the edge of the hill, so he'll pop out right here. And we're skirting the road because a lot of Aiden's tracks were found skirting roads, like he didn't want to be seen. And there's no way or shape or form, you guys, do I believe he hid from searchers. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think that the searchers never got in the real ballpark of exactly where he was at. And I don't think he made it through the first night, you guys. That's just my personal opinion. I've stayed up here at night, even in the springtime. And it's no cookie, I can tell you that. It gets really, really cold. And if the wind's blowing, you don't have protection or a fire, you're in for a very rough night, especially if there's precipitation, which there was. So I contemplating not searching anymore for a while. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm tying flagging too. Chris, you'll come across some of my flagging here where the hill ends.
Yeah, I know it rolls around.
Okay.
I'm gonna come over the top of the mountain actually.
All right, you just go over the hill there?
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we're doing. We're searching this trail that goes up this mountain. And you guys, this trail right here will go all the way back to Alexandria Spring. The place where the footprints were found, almost 2 miles south of where we found his shoes. We're at 7,800 feet in elevation. They came off of a horse trail that was about 8, 9 feet wide. Almost, well, the pickup trucks drive that horse trail too. And it was at the top of Denton Canyon. But the road to Denton Canyon was about, I'm guessing, 1,000 yards, 800 yards to the west of where those shoe prints were found. And I looked in the FOIA report and there was a big red line that went down Denton Canyon. So I think that's Fisher, I'm not sure. But somebody searched that canyon, which tells me then he walked the two-tire trail down to where this road meets it. And that's probably 2 to 3 miles south of the Alexandria Spring. And you guys, I think there's a very good chance he could have walked to the south and might be up this canyon somewhere. Maybe even down, maybe even all the way to the flats. I don't know. If I knew, I'd be there searching. That's just the bottom line. So all I can do is go by what the FOIA report said, and they found tracks almost 2 miles south. And they were not documented as far as the GPS coordinates go, but they showed on one of the maps where these guys use, they actually use a map where shows everywhere they walked, and it's different color codes for the different searchers. And there is none in this canyon at all. Nobody has searched this canyon. And I myself believe there's a very good chance Aiden could have made it this far. I do not believe he made it through the first night, sadly enough. I know how cold it gets. And I do believe wherever he stopped to rest is where we'll find him. And where that spot is, you guys, I don't know. But we've got a good 2-day window here to search. And the snow's like this, it's not bad. Most of it's, as you can see, good bare ground. And you guys, you wonder why I stop in these thick trees and stuff and I look really hard. Because if I was seeking shelter, it's exactly what I'd do, is hunker under one of these really thick cedar trees. We call them juniper, they're in the cedar family. And I'd crawl down in there, and like my grandson said, I'd put leaves and stuff in my pants to stay warm if I had to. So when you go into survival mode, who knows? And I'm going to start concentrating my search in this canyon and Denton Canyon both. But I myself believe this canyon. I know this much. I know where he's not, and that's where we've been everywhere we've been. I do not believe we missed him. So Chris will be skirting there, and what I've been doing, you guys, is little S's like this. We're going to do it to where it meets the sagebrush here. So where you go down farther and it's sagebrush, we're going to have that flown with a drone. And just so you guys know, I've been studying to get my FAA 107 license, and I'm pretty sure I could pass it now. And then to buy a drone that we can search with, I can just have Chris come out and fly his drone and search these sagebrush in the flat areas that lead down. There's a ranch probably 8 miles due west of this canyon, you guys. If it has lights on at night, I have no idea. I know that there's no power lines that go out there, so it's an off-grid ranch. So I thought, you guys, like I said, I thought about stop looking for Aiden, but I'm not going to let what other people do bother me. What the naysayers say, the people that said we planted shoes, I can promise you this much, you guys, I've never planted anything when it comes to looking for these people. And the people that say I have, I got 2 words for you, and you probably know what they are. My channel's non-monetized. And trust me when I tell you this, between Dylan Rounds and Aiden Clune, I've spent my fair share of money and time looking for both boys. There's Chris walking alongside the hill and looking up at the trees in there. I say we go over this little hill right here, Chris, then jump to the other side.
Walk up that, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll move the truck up and do it again. And even if it gets cold, you guys, if there's only this much snow on the ground, we'll be okay. I know the further up we go, the more snow there's going to be. And as you can see, all the hills that face to the north have a lot of snow on them. But I know the weather here. The wind comes out of the northwest most of the time, by north-northwest. And so if you're seeking shelter, you would be seeking shelter on the hills that face to the west or to the south. And to the southwest would be your best bet. That would block the wind. So I narrow it down a lot of ways that way. When the wind's blowing out of the northwest to the southeast, that means it's going that direction. Why would he be there? He would be hunkered up in these hills to get out of wind. That's minimum. So I do believe that's the correct philosophy. And I do think if we find him, it will be on a southwest facing area where trees and rocks meet each other, because that's your best source of shelter. Say that 100 times, that's your best source of shelter. So I'm going to keep looking for him, you guys. Phyllis and I bought a motorhome where I can go to the nice roads where it stops, and we can spend 2 or 3 days out here at a time. And I can take Phyllis with us, and she'll be fine at the motorhome. Have all the amenities. Might have to put a satellite dish on it that folds up or something so she gets good TV. She loves to watch movies. And you guys, Chris and I ran into a federal predator trapper. He works for the federal government. He was coming down this road on a 4-wheeler, and he told us there's traps set even close to the road here, that he marked his with little signs. and that his are a little bit vicious compared to the other traps that are set up here. So I put Harper in the truck. She's not going out. And he said the soft traps won't hurt her, but she might try to bite me when I open them. Harper would never bite me for any reason. When she was a lot younger, I pulled quills out of her, and she never bit me, so she learned her lesson about porcupines. Thank God it wasn't too bad of a lesson. But she was probably about 8 months old when that happened, and that dog never bite me. She might bite someone else, but she won't bite me. And same with Pebbles. Pebbles would never bite me. My dogs love me, and I love them. You guys can see all the runoff channels on the hill up there, look. See, it looks like a pickup truck track, but it's not. They're runoff channels. That tells me at times there's lots of snow in this area, and I know the winter after Aiden went missing, this was a harsh winter. We had lots of snow, and lots of snow here in Cherry Creek. I mean, probably in this area 3 foot deep. No problem. Up higher, 7 to 9 feet deep. That's not like the Sierra Nevada, but that's a lot of snow for this area, and it's probably even deeper in places. Who knows where the wind drifts it. So we're going to turn around right up here and go up the other side of the road back to the truck. We've been marking with blue ribbon. So the reason the blue, you guys, I'm not going to lie, I've run Wells Auto out of this flagging. The pink and the orange, I've run them out. So I've got down to where they had nothing but blue left, but I noticed the blue, that I can buy the blue for, I think, $5.25 for a huge roll, where the pink and the orange are $5 something for a half size of that roll. So I'm going to start buying the blue. It's biodegradable. I've noticed the stuff over on the other side of the mountain where we were grid searching, where we found the shoes, is already deteriorating and turning to powder because we buy the biodegradable flagging. But I don't think he's in there, you guys. I did for the longest time. But when Mike called me and texted me that information about where tracks were found, and you guys, we started searching that last videos you saw where we were in the snow. That's on, let me show you guys so you understand what we're doing. That's the road that goes south across Alexandria Springs. And if you stay on it, this is where it comes out. And those tracks that Mike showed me were found. You go up and around and then turn back to the north, and you go up, and they were at 7,800 feet, basically where the horse trail meets what I call a two-tracker, like this. See the 1, 2. So he very well could have walked straight down the two-tracker to this trail and then down here. And you guys, there's all sorts of springs up this mountain. And I have the feeling we have opened up a whole new can of worms, but I think this is the highest probability, and I'll tell you why. Cadaver dogs, searchers, all sorts of people have searched to the north, including myself, and I mean searched hard. And I even found tracks one time, the very first search of Aiden, that looked like they were a year old, mired in the mud. And it very well could have been his tracks, but everybody has searched to the north and to the northeast and to the northwest. I've been up on that ridge line, and the only place we haven't searched, you guys, is to the south. And when Mike shows me that there was footprints almost 2 miles to the south of where we found his tracks, and all the other tracks are within like a half mile of where we found the shoes, that tells me this is the way he went. He sure the hell didn't turn back around 2 miles up away from the shoes and 7,800 feet in elevation and walk back that way. I refuse to believe that. I do believe this is where he's at. And it's going to be a lot of searching again. And that's just the way it is. Sometimes you have to take a bite of the 4-letter sandwich and swallow. So if it means we find him, I'm willing to do that. I've had so much stuff said about me, you guys. And maybe 10% of it's true. I'm not going to say it's all untrue, but yes, sir.
I'm going to go to the edge of this hill right here and walk the edge of it.
Let's Z back and forth towards each other. Do S.
That's what I'm talking about, but I'm going to give you some space where you can zig back
Okay.
and forth.
No, I agree, right to the edge of the hill, because very well could be. And the rest of it down this way, search with the drone, because it just widens out in the sagebrush.
Right, exactly.
We can walk that side where there's trees, but the hill's really close there. You can see the hill.
Harper was barking like crazy out there.
She's not getting out. I'm not going to take the chance of her getting a foot in a trap.
No, I'm just saying I hope she don't try to. Look at that right there, a gate or something.
She'll relax. So that's something that was bolted together big, probably a corral gate. Look, Chris, come check this out. There's a big piece of iron underneath.
Real old too.
Can you
really
lift?
old.
There's a big piece of iron underneath it. Huh? Look at that. See the gate hinges? See the hinges?
Yep.
Those are turn of the century, 1900. The bolts too, off the railroad.
Yep.
I've seen these with this off the railroad. This stuff was all salvaged railroad material. These were cross members off the tops.
Yeah, you see the square nuts on top there. Definitely from the early 1900s.
Yeah, wow. Nothing goes to waste in the desert, my friend.
Yeah. All that alkalinity, huh?
So up there, you guys, where you see those red willow. Let's see. That's a water source, I guarantee. So we're going to walk up into that area and really search that too. And right now, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I'll do another video.
There's a river right here.
A creek, yeah.
Yeah, a creek that went through.
It's the spring.
Quite a bit of running water in it.
It's the spring.
That's putting out a lot of water.
Yeah, follow that source. Look near it real close because, all right. And I'll Z back and forth, Chris, to it, okay?
Okay.
I got to walk back towards the road, you guys, and then back that way. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. And I'll do another video after we get back to the truck. Our target is those mountains way up there. And dude, back towards the north. So thanks for watching, you guys.